Have you ever met someone who was just completely calm? Like nothing could shake them, nothing could upset them, and you thought, how do they do that?
That feeling, that quiet confidence, where you speak slowly, you think clearly, and you don't panic, even when things get difficult.
Today's episode is about exactly that. Being so calm that it actually makes other people feel nervous around you.
And we're going to talk about this in simple, clear English, so you can learn and feel inspired at the same time.
Let's go.
Hello and welcome to Speak Unstoppable, the podcast where we help you speak English with confidence, one real conversation at a time. I'm Maria.
And I'm John. So happy you're here today. Whether you're listening on your morning walk, on the bus, or just sitting at home with a cup of tea, welcome. This is your English learning space.
Today, we have a really special topic. We're talking about calmness, what it means, how it looks, how it sounds, and most importantly, how you can bring that energy into your daily English conversations.
Because here's the thing, when you're calm, your English gets better. We're going to explain exactly why.
So sit back, relax, and let's learn together.
Okay, Maria, let me ask you something. You know those people, and maybe you've seen them at work, at school, in a meeting. Someone says something rude or stressful, and instead of reacting, this person just pauses, takes a breath, and responds with total control.
Yes, and everyone in the room goes quiet for a second, because that person's calmness is actually powerful. It's almost surprising. You expect them to react, but they don't. And that's what makes it so effective.
That's what we mean by the title today. Be so calm it makes people nervous. Not nervous in a bad way, but nervous in the sense that they realize this person is in control. They can't be shaken. And that's actually a little surprising.
And here's why this matters for English learners especially. When we're learning a language, we often feel stressed. We feel scared of making mistakes. Our heart beats fast. We forget words. We freeze.
Oh yes, I've seen that happen. And it's not because people don't know English. It's because they're not calm.
So today, we're connecting two things. Learning to be calm in general and using that calmness to speak better English. Because when you're calm, you remember more words, you speak more clearly, and you listen better too.
By the end of this episode, you'll have real tools and real English to help you do both. Let's go.
So let's start with the basics. What does it actually mean to be calm?
I think a lot of people think calm means quiet. Like you don't talk, you just sit there and say nothing.
Right, and that's a common misunderstanding. Being calm doesn't mean being silent or emotionless. It means you are in control of your reaction. You feel your emotions, but you choose how to respond.
So it's not about hiding what you feel, it's about managing it.
Exactly. The word manage here is important. Manage means to handle something, to control it in a good way. So when we say manage your emotions, we mean you feel the emotion, but you decide what to do with it.
Okay, I like that. So a calm person still feels stress, still feels pressure, but they don't let it control them.
Perfect. And there's a phrase I love for this. Respond, don't react. Let me say that again. Respond, don't react.
What's the difference between respond and react?
Great question, and honestly, the listener is probably thinking the same thing. So, when you react, you act immediately, without thinking. Like a reflex. Someone says something upsetting, and boom, you say something back before you even think.
Like when someone cuts in line and you immediately say something rude. That's a reaction.
Exactly. But when you respond, you pause, you think, you choose your words carefully. That's the power of calm people. They respond, they don't just react.
So it's like reaction is automatic. Response is a choice.
That's a really good way to put it, John. Reaction is automatic. Response is a choice.
And for our English learners, this is also really useful when someone asks you a question in English, right? Instead of panicking and saying the first thing that comes to mind, pause. Take a breath. Then respond.
Yes, that small pause is not weakness. That pause is intelligence. It says, I am thinking. I am choosing my words. Native speakers do this too. The best speakers in the world pause before they speak.
So lesson number 1, calm is a choice. And choosing to pause is actually a sign of confidence, not nervousness. Okay, Maria, let's make this really concrete. Let's talk about specific situations where being calm makes a huge difference.
Yes. Let's talk about 3 situations that our listeners probably face in everyday life and in English conversations.
First one, being corrected. So imagine you're speaking English and someone corrects you. Maybe a teacher, maybe a friend, maybe a colleague. And you said something wrong.
For a lot of people, this moment feels terrible, embarrassing. You feel like hiding. And sometimes people get defensive, they say no, I know English, or they just go completely silent and stop trying.
Yeah, the emotional reaction takes over.
But a calm person? They hear the correction and they say something like, oh, thank you, I'll remember that. Or even just, good to know. And they move on.
That's it? That's the whole response?
That's it. Simple, calm, thankful. And here's the power. When you respond to correction with calmness, people respect you more, not less, because you're showing that you care about learning more than you care about being right.
I love that. Care about learning more than being right.
Second situation. When you don't understand something. This happens all the time with English learners. Someone speaks too fast, uses a word you don't know, and you have no idea what they said.
And most people just nod, like yes, I understand, when actually they understood nothing. I've definitely done that.
We all do. But a calm person says, sorry, could you repeat that? Or, could you explain what that word means? Or, simply, I didn't quite catch that.
I didn't quite catch that. I love that phrase. It sounds so natural.
It does. And notice, it's not I don't understand your English. It's I didn't catch that. This puts no blame on anyone. It's gentle, calm, and professional.
Third situation?
Disagreement. When someone says something you don't agree with, and you need to say, I think differently.
Oh, this is hard for a lot of people. Because you don't want to be rude, but you also want to be honest.
Calm people use phrases like, that's an interesting point, but I see it a little differently. Or, I understand what you mean, but in my experience...
So they don't say you're wrong. They don't attack. They acknowledge, they recognize what the other person said, and then they share their own view.
Exactly. The word acknowledge is important here. Acknowledge means to show that you heard and understood something. It doesn't mean you agree. It just means, I heard you. I see your point. And that small step completely changes the tone of a conversation.
Being calm in disagreement is actually a superpower in English conversations. Because a lot of conversations fall apart because people react too quickly.
Now let's look at something really practical, the actual words and phrases that calm people use. Because calmness is not just a feeling, it has a language. And you can learn it.
Oh, I like this. So what does calm sound like in English?
Let's go through some phrases. First, when someone asks you something difficult or unexpected and you need a moment to think, instead of saying, I don't know, try this. That's a good question. Let me think for a moment.
Let me think for a moment. So simple, but it sounds so confident.
It tells the other person, I heard you. I'm thinking carefully. That pause feels natural. It doesn't feel like confusion. It feels like thought.
Second phrase?
When someone challenges you or says something critical, instead of getting defensive, you can say, I appreciate your feedback. Or, that's something I'll think about.
That's something I'll think about. Wow. That's so calm. You're not agreeing. You're not fighting. You're just receiving it gracefully.
Exactly. Gracefully means in a smooth, comfortable way. Without drama. Without ego.
Third phrase?
When there's a problem or a stressful situation, instead of panicking and saying, oh no, what do we do? A calm person says, okay, let's figure this out.
Let's figure this out. Short. Simple. But so powerful.
Because it moves everyone forward. It says, I'm not panicking. I'm not blaming. I'm solving.
And figure out means to find a solution, to understand something or solve a problem.
Yes. And one more. When someone is upset or emotional around you, instead of matching their energy and becoming emotional too, you can say, I hear you. Let's talk about this calmly.
I hear you. That phrase is so important. It means, I am listening. I understand that you feel something, and I'm taking it seriously.
And when you say, let's talk about this calmly, you're actually setting the tone for the whole conversation. You're saying, this is how we're going to communicate. Calmly.
So you're not just being calm yourself, you're inviting the other person to be calm too.
Exactly. And that is real leadership, real confidence in any language.
Maybe you know this feeling too. You're in a stressful conversation, and one person stays calm. And somehow, the whole situation becomes more manageable.
That person can be you.
Okay, let's talk about something that I think is going to surprise a lot of our listeners.
What's that?
Being calm actually makes your English better. Physically. Scientifically.
Oh, yes. This is so real. Let me explain.
Please.
When you are stressed or anxious, your brain goes into what scientists call fight or flight mode. This means your brain thinks there is danger, and it focuses all its energy on surviving.
And in that moment, your vocabulary disappears.
Yes, you forget words you know perfectly well. Your grammar falls apart. You speak faster than you should. And you stop listening properly.
I've experienced this so many times. Someone asks me a question in English. I know the answer. But suddenly, nothing. My mind goes blank.
That is stress, not lack of knowledge. Your brain had the words, but the stress blocked them.
So the solution is not to study more vocabulary?
The solution is to be calmer. When you are calm, your brain has access to everything you've learned. Your memory works better. Your listening improves. Your pronunciation becomes clearer.
So calmness is actually a language learning tool.
One of the best tools. And here is something simple you can try. Before any English conversation, Take 3 slow breaths. In through the nose, out through the mouth.
Just 3 breaths?
Just 3. And notice how different you feel. Your shoulders drop. Your mind clears. And suddenly, the conversation feels less like a test and more like just talking.
Less like a test and more like just talking. I love that.
Because that's what it is. A conversation is just 2 people exchanging ideas. It's not an exam. Nobody is grading you.
And even if you make a mistake, a calm person just says, "Sorry, let me say that again," and moves on.
No drama. No embarrassment. Just continuing.
Maybe you know this feeling too. You were so stressed about speaking English that you forgot everything you knew.
Next time, breathe first. Then, speak.
Can I share something personal?
Please.
A few years ago, I was terrified of silence. In conversations, if there was a pause, even for 2 seconds, I would panic. I would say something, anything, just to fill the silence.
And what happened?
Usually something embarrassing. Because I was reacting, not responding. I was so focused on not looking nervous that I looked more nervous.
And what changed?
I learned that silence is not a problem. Silence is actually confident. When you pause before you speak, people lean in. They think, this person is thinking carefully. This person takes communication seriously.
Yes, there's a phrase I love. Speak less, say more. It means when you choose your words carefully, every word has more power.
And for English learners, this is so freeing. You don't have to say everything perfectly, fast, and without stopping. You are allowed to pause. You are allowed to think.
The most powerful communicators in the world, in any language, they are not the fastest speakers. They are the most intentional speakers.
Intentional means doing something on purpose. With a clear reason.
Speak with intention. Pause with intention. And your English and your confidence will grow together.
Remember this sentence. Be so calm that your silence speaks louder than other people's words.
Say it again.
Be so calm that your silence speaks louder than other people's words.
That's the goal. Okay, everyone. Let's slow down now. Word tour time.
Key words from today. Say them with us.
Word 1. Manage. This means to handle something, to control it in a good way. Example 1. She managed her stress very well during the presentation. Example 2. I'm learning to manage my emotions in difficult conversations.
Managing emotions is a skill, and like all skills, it gets better with practice.
Word 2. Respond. This means to reply or react, but with thought and intention. Example 1. He responded calmly even though the question was rude. Example 2. Take a moment before you respond. Don't just react.
Respond is a choice. React is automatic. Always choose to respond.
Word 3. Acknowledge. This means to show that you heard and understood something. It doesn't mean you agree. Example 1. She acknowledged his point before sharing her own opinion. Example 2. Just acknowledging someone's feelings can completely change the conversation.
Acknowledge first, then respond. That is the formula for calm communication.
Word 4. Defensive. This means protecting yourself when you feel attacked or criticized. Example 1. He got defensive when someone corrected his English. Example 2. Try not to be defensive. See feedback as a gift.
Being defensive is understandable, but it closes the conversation. Calmness opens it.
Word 5. Gracefully. This means in a smooth, comfortable, and elegant way, without drama. Example 1. She handled the difficult question gracefully. Example 2. Even when he made a mistake, he moved on gracefully.
Gracefully is how calm people do everything. They don't force things. They flow.
Word 6. Figure out. This means to find a solution or to understand something. Example 1. Let's figure out the best way to solve this. Example 2. I couldn't figure out what she meant, so I asked her to explain.
Let's figure this out. 3 words that can calm any stressful situation.
Word 7. Intentional. This means doing something on purpose, with a clear reason behind it. Example 1. She was very intentional about the words she chose. Example 2. Be intentional about how you practice English every day.
Intentional learning. Intentional speaking. Intentional pausing. Everything with purpose.
Word 8. Manageable. This means something that can be handled. Not too big, not too overwhelming. Example 1. When you break a big problem into small steps, it becomes manageable. Example 2. Speaking English feels more manageable when you're calm.
Remember, calm makes everything more manageable. Including English. OK. One thing to practice today. Just one.
The next time you're in any conversation, in English or in your own language, try this.
Before you answer, pause. Just 1 or 2 seconds. Take a breath. Just one phrase. That's it.
And here is your sentence template for today.
I hear you. Let me think about that for a moment.
Say it now. Out loud.
I hear you. Let me think about that for a moment.
Again. Slowly. Calmly.
I hear you. Let me think about that for a moment.
Feel how different that sounds. From panic, from rushing, from reacting.
That is the sound of calm. And it sounds like confidence. Okay. Comment challenge time.
This week's question.
Tell us, what is one situation where you wish you had been calmer, and what would you say differently now?
Write it in the comments. In English. Even just one sentence.
Because writing it down makes it real. And real practice is what changes things.
We read every single comment. Everyone. And we love hearing from you.
If this episode helped you, please give it a like. It really helps more people find us.
And subscribe to Speak Unstoppable if you haven't yet. New episodes every day, real conversations, real English, real life.
Thank you for being here today.
You showed up. You listened. And maybe, just maybe, you'll speak a little more calmly today than yesterday.
And that is already progress.
Until next time, stay calm.
Speak clearly.
And remember, your calm is your power.
Bye, everyone.
Bye!